Good morning, children. Today I am going to teach you the first chapter of geography, that is Earth as a planet. This is your first chapter, Earth as a planet. In this, the first topic is the shape of the Earth. So, the shape of the Earth is called oblate spheroid. The Earth is not a perfect sphere. Instead, at some places it is bulged out and at some places it is flat. So, that shape is called oblate spheroid, which is not a perfect sphere. And that means Earth is flattened at the poles and bulges at the equator. So, this is poles, North Pole and South Pole, and this is equator. So Earth is flattened, a little bit flat at the poles and it bulges a little at the equator. So the shape of the Earth is called oblate spheroid. Then how do we prove that? So the equatorial diameter of the Earth is 12,756 kilometer, whereas the polar diameter is 12,714 kilometer. So equatorial diameter means from here to here and polar diameter from here to here. So this diameter is less than this equatorial diameter. So this proves that the Earth is bulged out at the equator and it is flat at the pole. And that is why the shape of the Earth is called oblate spheroid. Now the question arises that why Earth has oblate spheroid shape? Why is it not a perfect sphere? So your answer is due to the centrifugal force created by the rotation of the Earth. Now you all know that the Earth rotates on its axis from west to east, and because of this rotation centrifugal force is created. It is a force in which all the things move in all the direction from a common center. Okay, they move away from a common center to in all the direction. So because of this centrifugal force created by the rotation of the Earth from west to east, the Earth has oblate spheroid shape. That means it is flattened at the poles and bulges at the equator. Now, what are the proof that the Earth is spherical in shape? How can we prove that Earth has spherical shape? So for this, a list of these experiments and proof have been given that we will be studying in detail. The first one is the Bedford level experiment. So in Bedford level experiment, 3 poles of equal length were fixed in Bedford level canal in England. Canal is a narrow place that is filled with water and is created by people so that boats could pass through it, or it can provide water to agricultural field. So canals are just like rivers, but it is man-made. So these 3 poles of equal height were fixed at an interval of 5 km each. And when it was viewed from one end, the middle pole looked slightly higher than the other 2 poles. Now, if the Earth would have been flat, all these poles would have been of same height when they were viewed from one end. But since Earth is spherical in shape, so that is why when it was viewed from one end, the middle pole looked higher than the other 2 poles, and this proved that the Earth is spherical in shape. Now the second experiment is sighting of a ship. So if you're standing at a seashore and a ship is approaching towards you, you will not be able to see the whole ship at once. First of all, you will see the mast of the ship. That means the top portion of the ship will be the first which will come into view. Then the middle portion and finally the hull of the ship will appear. So since we cannot see the whole ship approaching towards us at once. Instead, we see the first of all, we see the top portion, then the middle, and then the lower portion. So this proves that the Earth is spherical in shape. If the Earth would have been flat, the whole ship would have appeared at once, but this does not happen. So this proves that the Earth is spherical in shape. Now the third experiment is of pole star. So this is 90° north pole, and this is 0° equator. This is the northern hemisphere of the Earth. So pole star can be seen at 90° angle at the north pole, and if you start moving from north pole towards the equator, this angle starts decreasing. So this proves that the Earth is spherical in shape. If Earth would have been flat, the angle of viewing pole star would have been same all over the earth. But since this angle decreases as we start moving towards the equator, so this proves that the earth is spherical in shape. The next and the most important proof of Earth's spherical shape is satellite pictures, which are taken from the space by the satellites which keep on revolving around the Earth, and these images are the most important proof of Earth's spherical shape. So the next proof is lunar eclipse. So lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth comes in between Sun and Moon. So because of the presence of the Earth in between, the sunlight is blocked by the Earth and it is unable to reach to the Moon. And since sunlight is blocked over here, a shadow of Earth appears on the Moon. This shadow appears to be like this. This shaded portion is the shadow of the Earth, and this shadow is spherical in shape. So since you can see it with your own eyes that the shadow of the Earth is spherical in shape, so this proves that Earth itself is spherical in shape. Next proof is sunrise and sunset occurs at different times at different places. Why? Because of west to east rotation of the Earth. So the people in the east sees the sun before people in the west. And this proves that the Earth is spherical in shape. If the Earth would have been flat, sunrise and sunset would have occurred at all the places at same time. But this is not the case. People in the east sees the sun first before as compared to people in the west. So this proves that the Earth is spherical in shape. Now the question arises that what makes the Earth home of humankind? Why out of 8 planets only Earth is habitable? So the first reason is optimum distance from the sun. The Earth lies at an optimum distance from the sun, which makes it neither too hot nor too cold. Second is average temperature of 17 degrees Celsius, and this temperature is suitable for life to exist. Third is atmosphere. Our Earth is surrounded by a gaseous layer which is known as atmosphere, and this atmosphere is composed of life supporting gases like nitrogen, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Apart from these, there is ozone present in our atmosphere, and this ozone layer protects us from the ultraviolet radiations of the sun. Next is it helps in maintaining heat balance on the surface of the earth and keep the earth warm. So there are life supporting gases which are present in the atmosphere as well as heat trapping gases. Carbon dioxide is a heat trapping gas, and it traps the heat of the sun and keep the earth warm by the process of greenhouse effect. Next is hydrosphere. It is the water realm of the earth, and 70% of the earth is covered by water, and water is also very essential for life to exist, and this water is responsible for maintaining climatic condition. So take example of rain. Rain is very essential for our survival, so it happens because of the hydrosphere. Next is lithosphere. Lithosphere is the solid crustal part of the earth. It is composed of rocks and soil is necessary for the growth of plant life, and plant life is important for our survival. So children, all these are the factors which makes the earth home of humankind, or these are the reasons why life is possible only on the earth. Out of 8 planets in our solar system, life is possible only on earth because of these following reasons. And these points that you are seeing over here under the heading atmosphere, these you can write as the importance of atmosphere. Your next topic is biosphere. Biosphere is a narrow realm of contact and interaction between atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere. So where all these 3 spheres meet, that place, that particular region or that particular area is known as biosphere. And this biosphere provides all the necessities of life like light, heat, water, food and habitats. And it is composed of 2 kingdoms, 2 life forms, that is plant kingdom and animal kingdom. So this is a diagram which represents biosphere. Lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere are meeting at this place, this shaded portion, where you will be able to find soil, where you will be able to find water, and where you will be able to find breathable air. And this portion is the realm where life exists, where life can survive. So this region of contact between lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere is known as biosphere. Since you cannot live only with soil, or you cannot live only with air, or you cannot live only on water, so you need all these three elements for survival, and the place where these elements are found, interact or meet, this place is known as biosphere.